Welcome to Through the Drama. Chris Harrison and Lauren Zima with you on this 4th of July week. Babe, pack your bags. We're taking Through the Drama on the road.
Oh my gosh, you are so excited to make this reveal. And I'm so happy for you because I know how much you love golf.
I'm bringing the two things I love the most together. Live TV, hosting television, producing TV, and playing golf. Somehow.
Does that make me number 3?
Somehow I figured out a way. Maybe I should rephrase. How quickly she put herself in there.
The two things I love the most. Where are your children on this list? Your family.
5, 6, 7.
Wow.
We are taking Through the Drama on the road next week. So I am lucky enough and fortunate enough to take part in the American Century Championship, this big celeb golf tournament that American Century proudly puts on. It's the 36th year. And it is at Edgewood in Lake Tahoe, which is one of the most spectacular backdrops really in the world.
I have to say, I am not always the one to tag along with you on golf. This tournament is super fun. Last year, it was you playing along with the Kelce brothers, Colin Jost, Jimmy Fallon popped in for a little bit, Don Cheadle, what a lovely guy, Michael Pena, he's great. I'm trying to think of other people who are there.
Steph Curry's going to be there. He wasn't there last year because he was busy winning a gold medal at the Olympics. So he'll be back to defend his title 1 year later. Miles Teller is going to be there as well.
It's such a fun tournament because most of the time when you're playing in a golf tournament, it's my nightmare. It's very quiet, and I don't like to be quiet. But in Tahoe, American Century does such a great job of they let the fans come in. I mean, people pull their boats up alongside one of the holes because the golf hole is along the lake, and they're like partying in their boats and watching you guys play golf. And you helped me understand what is fun about it is that the celebrities play as if they are professional.
Yes.
They play, it's treated like a professional golf tournament. It's televised. So you get to feel really like your dreams are coming true.
But the real reason I wanted to take Through the Drama there, A, we're going to be there. So it's a bit of a boondoggle, I'll be honest. But B, we have access unlike anybody else because we're going to be inside the ropes on the range. So we are setting up our set right there. So we will have access to the biggest celebs in the world, the biggest athletes in the world. And so we're going to have a week full of very fun shows starting on Tuesday of next week.
You know what? This kind of is, I'll say it, I'll give it to you. It is your two favorite things because if people know you, they know before The Bachelor, you started in sports broadcasting and now you like to play golf. So it is like, you're going to both get to be a sports broadcaster and be playing sports on TV in the same week. You've never done this before. And wow, this is your dream come true.
I'll just say, look,
I'll give it to you.
Let me rephrase my two favorite passions.
Okay.
My two favorite hobbies.
No, I could still find a way to take that offensively.
I want to talk about sleep divorce since we're going to...
That was your transition.
So no, there's a new phrase.
Why don't you just pull out a shovel and dig the hole, man? Wow. Okay.
I have heard this new phrase, sleep divorce. And then you sent me this article about Raven-Symoné. And that more and more, as the more I've dug into this, people are sleeping in separate bedrooms, separate beds, separate wings of the house.
You know what? This actually isn't that new of a phrase. You know who one of the first people to reveal that he did this?
Who?
I think it was the guy you played in Tahoe with, Carson Daly.
Oh, yeah, Carson Daly, yeah.
Carson Daly is in a sleep divorce with his wife. He started talking about it a couple years ago. I think it's because he snores. Yeah. So sleep divorce means you're married happily, you say, but you sleep in separate beds and separate rooms, okay? Now, there are some couples who have famously done this, and I guess it's just sort of a tradition for them. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, the royals famously sleep divorce. I don't know if Will and Kate do. I don't know if they sleep in separate rooms or if Charles and Camilla, not that we care about them, but some presidents have over the years. Yeah. And then it's just a question of like, okay, if you're not royalty or running a country, is it okay to be in a sleep divorce? What do you think?
Look, I mean, Carson Daly and his wife Siri talked about it back when they had their baby. I think it was back in 2020. He was suffering some sleep apnea. The baby was coming. And so they did it and found that it really helped. Victoria and David Beckham have been rumored to do this from time to time.
Well, the latest ones, as you said, to bring it up again, were Raven-Symoné and her wife. And Raven said on Jeff Lewis's podcast that it's because like she's kind of I think she's a very tumultuous sleeper. She kicks a lot. And then her wife really likes to do her skincare, I think, and so has a very specific routine she wants to follow. I'll be honest, when I heard that, I thought, oh, I see the appeal of that there because I sometimes I wouldn't mind just locking in with all the skincare I want to do, red light, all that, and just going to sleep looking so bizarre. And then you would never have to see me like that. I saw the appeal.
It's something we've never tried, but okay, let's say it's like us sometimes. You live a different life. I will go to bed. We go to bed around the same time, but you don't really go to bed. There's a different world that exists beyond when I go to bed. Would it help if you got to go to a different room and kind of live that life and then go to bed, or would you just stay up forever?
Well, I kind of already do that. Like sometimes if I want to watch another show, I stay up for an hour later than you and I watch another episode of a show or something. I just go in the kitchen and do that. And then I come back to bed and you kind of sleep like a rock. So it doesn't really matter. I also, sometimes you wake up and then the next morning I ask you if you remember waking up and you don't, which is really funny.
Which is silly because we like to think that, as men, we're like on guard and ready to go at any time.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, I am the defender of the house. If somebody's breaking in, the women are 100% the one who wake up. Honey, somebody's in the house. And you'll say, no, a bug flew into the window.
We would like to think it's the opposite, but no.
It's not at all.
You would have to beat me to get me up.
I need the baseball bat on my side of the bed. Yeah. I would have a hard time doing this because I think that nighttime time is so important. Like we talk, we wind the night down, we talk about the day. We have so many intimate conversations. I'm only a fan of sleep divorce if it's right as you're about to go to bed, you say, okay, goodbye.
We are not filing sleep divorce. That is it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, one of the best movies of all time. Well, they are getting ready for the sequel. They are already in production. And who is the new James Bond? We will talk about that next. All right, if you've been watching this show or know me at all, you do know that I am a huge fan of rom-coms. One of the greatest movies ever made, Devil Wears Prada. Hands down. Meryl Streep, Stanley Tucci, Anne Hathaway, Adrian Grenier.
He's the real villain, as they say.
The great news, obviously, we all know there is a sequel coming out, Devil Wears Prada 2, but that sequel is in production. They are shooting it. And back on the screen, Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Stanley Tucci, Emily Blunt is back, and Kenneth Branagh is also going to be
Yes, he's now joined the cast. So that is the latest news. They have officially announced with a beautiful video of a red high heel that the movie is in production, and we've got a couple new people on board, including Kenneth Branagh.
He's that guy.
Oh, like you recognize him from
he's
movies?
an Oppenheimer. He was in Tenet.
Yeah.
And you're like, who is that guy? And then you go look at him online. You're like, oh, yeah, that guy.
Do you know what I always love is for lack of a better term, incestualness of the British acting world, because it's so small. Like for me, let me bring it up. If you look at the Harry Potter movies, every British actor is in those movies. Kenneth Branagh is in those movies. He plays Professor Moody. What gets great about those films is that then they also have their exes. Like I'm bringing this up because he was with, I think at one point, Helena Bonham Carter, but also with Emma Thompson, and they both star in the movies. And I think there was an affair in there somewhere. Anyway, so what's he going to bring to the Devil Wears Prada? Gird your loins, as Stanley Tucci once infamously said. What I want to give them props for here is that they are not moving at a glacial pace. The movie is in production, and it has been announced that it will hit theaters May 1st, 2026. That means they're filming now, and they'll get it to us within a year.
And again, due to Anna Wintour stepping down as editor-in-chief over there at Vogue, you wonder if there is going to be a little pivot in the script quickly. It's kind of like Morning Show. You remember when Matt Lauer went down for all his shenanigans?
They changed the entire plot of that show.
Steve Carell's character completely changed.
Yes, because he was kind of the Matt Lauer type, and then Matt Lauer had been cast in this really dark light. So it was like, wait, we've got to adjust. If people don't know, The Devil Wears Prada, based on a book, and that book was written by a woman who worked at Vogue for Anna Wintour. So it's sort of infamous that Meryl Streep's character was inspired by Anna.
Adrian Grenier, who got a little grief, for his portrayal of Anne Hathaway's love interest in Devil Wears Prada.
I don't think it's
not going to be in Devil Wears Prada 2.
No, it's not about the way he portrayed him. It's about the character. People say, looking back, he was not a supportive boyfriend. And they broke. No, he does not need to be in the movie. I don't think we're missing that character. The question is how Anne Hathaway's character is going to come into play.
How she will evolve, because she left. Obviously, she walked away at the end of, spoiler alert, she walked away, and her and Meryl Streep's character split and went their separate ways. Surely they're going to come together somehow.
The plot is that Miranda Priestley is now dealing with the magazine industry fading, and that Emily Blunt's character now runs a big major brand, and Meryl needs Emily's advertising dollars for the magazine.
And somehow
so we'll
Anne
see.
has to come back.
All right, so much movie news. We are also getting a sequel to a different 2000s film, The Social Network. Social Network 2 is coming. Aaron Sorkin back to write, this time also directing. I'm actually down with the plot of this. I guess he wants to explore. It makes sense. 10 years into social media and Facebook, the effect that social media is having on our brains, our social fabric as humans, on our kids.
A couple things I'm worried about
Okay.
when it comes to this movie and Aaron Sorkin. The movie came back out in 2010, and it was based on the article, The Facebook Files, of how kind of the inside baseball of how Facebook was really formed and why.
The dastardly ways.
And so this is not a sequel as much as they're calling it a follow-up. And
Wait, what is the difference between a sequel and a follow-up?
Well,
What do you mean?
I know this is what worries me is that
Okay.
we are living the follow-up. We're in it right now. And so one thing is Aaron Sorkin is very politically active, and he said that Facebook was a big part of the January 6th Capitol moment. They have quickly come out and said, oh, no, this is not a January 6th movie. But Aaron Sorkin is very politically motivated.
Oh, you're saying you don't want to go watch that kind of
I am very worried that he can't help himself.
Well, I will say what was great about the first movie was it was this insider look at like how this thing that we were all using really happened. It was kind of like behind the scenes, and really more of a story of like Mark Zuckerberg and the Winklevoss twins and how he allegedly stole things from them. I don't ever love watching a movie that feels like I'm just watching a difficult reality I'm already living. Like I want to go to the movies to escape. So I'm with
That's
you
what
on.
I'm worried I'm going to see from Aaron Sorkin.
I hear you on that.
Look, I look forward to his long walking monologues. We will get a lot of those, which honestly, I'm a West Wing fan. I'm down with that.
Have you ever seen that mashup that puts all the clips together from all his great different movies and TV shows and reveals how many times he's used the same line in a bunch of different works?
Now.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and find it, but he does repeat with his work. So I don't know. We'll see. It could be a great commentary, but I don't think it's going to be the escapist fun film the first one was.
Yeah, I don't know if he has it in him.
Well, let's have a little fun with a different movie that is also bringing us another follow-up. The Bond films are back, everybody. Some major headlines a few weeks ago when it was announced that the Broccoli family, and yes, that really is their name, would be selling the rights to the Bond films, which they have long held and long protected, to Amazon. Now, Amazon did a deal with them years ago, and everybody's been waiting. Where's the next Bond movie? Because since the last Daniel Craig one, nothing has been in the works. And apparently there was some drama between the family and Amazon. They couldn't come to a conclusion on how they wanted to continue. And this family has long protected the Bond legacy and always chosen the next Bond, for example. When they picked Daniel Craig, it was kind of like, whoa, who's this guy? But they were right. Well, now Amazon is fully in control and they are moving and grooving. They have announced that Denis Villeneuve, the director behind the Dune movies, is going to direct the next Bond film. And Variety is reporting that some actors are very close to potentially signing on as the next Bond, that Amazon is eyeing Jacob Elordi, Tom Holland, and Harris Dickinson. So first, let's talk the director. How do you feel about Denis?
Oh, great. I mean,
Great choice.
Yeah, great choice. Obviously, his work on Dune, he has that feel. I mean, not that you can compare Dune and Bond, but it has that.
No, it's like a big movie.
Yeah, the big movie, tentpole movie. I love it. I think it's a great call.
Obviously, Dune based on books, so we know we can trust him with bringing a novel and a legacy story to the screen.
Now, the much bigger, larger question is who is James Bond going to be? And since Daniel Craig has stepped away and we've all known he's been gone since that last film, who will replace him? Let's start with who won't be.
Oh.
Tom Holland.
You don't think it's going to be Tom?
It can't be.
Why?
Because he's so adorable. Like, you can't have these villains come up and just squeeze his cheeks and go, oh, look how cute you are. And look, he played the lovable, kind of cute superhero in Spider-Man, but it worked because Spider-Man is that kind of weakling who got bit by a spider. And so
He's just playing a high schooler. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see Tom Holland making us feel like Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Daniel Craig. It just oozing that machismo.
Okay,
that's not Tom Holland.
I'll be honest. I had to go look up how tall Tom is because when we see him next to Zendaya and she's very tall, but Tom is only 5'7". He would be the shortest Bond ever.
I wonder, I shouldn't ask this live on air, but Daniel Craig isn't
I looked
tall.
him up too.
Okay.
I'm with you. He's 5'10".
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
It's shorter than you'd think. Now, I will say, it doesn't mean, but like, I think it does speak to, I mean, Tom is actually, he's 29 years old, and apparently they're looking for a younger Bond. They do want to start with someone young who could grow with the franchise for years. I mean, Daniel Craig was a Bond for a long time, and he was at the point where he said, I can't physically keep doing this much longer. But I do think Tom has like a bit of a baby face, and he is shorter, and it is hard to picture him with that Bond swagger.
Okay, so let's talk about the two guys I think that, and by the way, I also think you need a bit of an unknown. Not completely, but a bit of an unknown.
Well, none of these are unknowns.
Well, no, I mean a bit. Tom Holland is, I would say,
he's Spider-Man,
the biggest of the movie stars.
Okay.
Go.
Jacob Elordi, 28, very tall.
He's Australian.
Would he be the first Australian Bond?
Yes.
And listen, I think he's proven his acting chops. I think he could be good, but he's definitely the second most known of the three.
That picture doesn't do him justice. He's got a smolder, and that's what you need with a Bond. You need a across the bar smolder. He has that.
Didn't know you were such a Jacob Elordi fan. Have you seen?
I'm a Bond fan.
Did you ever watch Saltburn?
No, actually, I didn't. So I am not disturbed by that. But I think he has the look. He has the age. Obviously, he's an Aussie, but they said that's not a huge thing, even though they're looking for a Brit. What do you think about Harris?
He's my favorite out of these three. You agree?
Well, you know what's funny? I saw a side-by-side. He had this white suit, black tie on, and they put him next to Daniel Craig. And that picture doesn't really do him justice.
The haircut's weird in that picture.
Yeah, that's the bowl cut. That's not a good look. But he actually looked a little bit like Daniel Craig. It almost looked like a bit of a continuation.
I forget. Did we go together? Have you seen Baby Girl?
No.
Nicole Kidman?
No. Oh, yes.
No,
yes.
we did go see that together.
Yes, that was dark.
Listen, sexuality, he had it in spades in that movie.
Yeah, I didn't believe their chemistry, but he had it.
I think he's my favorite of these three. I'll be honest, I don't know that I need a 20-something Bond. I think it needs to be I get where they're going, but I really wish they'd go mid-30s or above. It's hard to picture unless maybe they're going a little bit Bond origin story, which we kind of did it with Daniel Craig, but we'll see. Either way, I trust Denis Villeneuve on this. He has just never made a movie I didn't like, and I always want more Bond follow-ups. When we come back, a follow-up with the Kardashians. Which of them is now revealing all of her plastic surgery, just like her sister Kylie? We'll also tell you what she's done next. We're back with Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian is the latest to join the trend started by her sister Kylie of celebrities revealing for all of the surgeries, procedures that they have allegedly done, sharing it with the world. And Khloe, I was a little surprised. Not as much as you would have thought.
Yeah.
Khloe.
As revealing as this is, I think the most revealing thing is that you would think it's more.
Okay, well then let me ask, do you think everybody's being honest?
No, not 100%.
Okay.
I bet we're getting 75%.
I agree with you. I think I believed Kylie when she revealed her exact boob job recipe because that's just this one thing. And I'm not like calling out Khloe here. I'm just saying, I don't know if any celebrity would ever tell you, oh yeah, start to finish, here's everything I've done. But let's bring up Khloe's comment here where she shares the procedures that she's had done. And
by the way, I love that she also dropped the doctors, like the links to the doctors and where she went.
Shout out to the doctors. Yeah. So Khloe said, I guess she was commenting on pictures of her 15 years apart. I mean, remember the Kardashians have been famous for well over a decade now. She said she's gotten a nose job. Laser hair for her hairline. Interesting. So she kind of pulled her hairline back and everywhere else. Let's bring
Botox, Sculptra, with that I guess helped her get a face tumor.
She did. She had a skin cancer issue. Yeah.
Soft wave laser for skin tightening.
I don't know what soft wave laser is, but I will be looking it up now. She said she's had filler in the past, but not recently. Collagen baby threads under her chin and neck. A salmon sperm facial, and which I will explain along with regular facials. And Khloe reveals over the years, she said she has lost in total 80 pounds. Now let's bring up that side by side of her again. Yeah. And I felt I don't always love when people do a side by side, but Khloe herself is commenting on everything she's done over the years, so wanted to kind of show you the difference. Wow, she looks great. Khloe is the queen of the revenge bod. She even had a show called that a couple years ago, and I have to give her props for how beautiful she looks. Let's talk about the salmon sperm facial. Had you heard of this?
No.
This has been a thing that the Kardashians have talked about in recent years. It is where salmon sperm DNA is used to rejuvenate your skin due to the polynucleotides in the salmon sperm DNA. So you're using via microneedling, usually you're putting salmon sperm product right there into your face. How much would you think that costs?
I would think they would pay me to do that.
Wow.
You're going to
kind of shady towards salmon, I'll be honest. I like salmon.
You're going to needle salmon sperm under my skin.
Yeah, you're welcome. And that is going to cost you the casual casual receipt goes for $1,000, $1,000 for the salmon sperm into the skin, babes.
I also wanted to know, not to get away from the salmon sperm, what baby threads.
Oh, collagen
baby threads are.
They kind of take a little skinny thread of collagen and they like put it into your lines to fill your lines in. Listen,
look, I'll say this about the Kardashians. Say nothing. They look great. Whatever work they get done, they all end up looking phenomenal, as do you.
And you know what? We want to tease. Well, thank you, babe. We had one of the Kardashians' most prominent doctors, Dr. Garth Fisher, did an interview with us for the show. That's going to be airing on Monday. He's the one who did Kylie's boob job. So we got Dr. Garth Fisher a major get, and we will have that interview Monday. Until then, save your salmon sperm, everybody. We love you, and we will talk to you next time.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. My network, Merit TV, has it all.
Now, let me blow your mind.
Merit TV's got the news that matters.
The selection of a new pope.
Entertainment you crave.
Busted.
Everybody in a good mood today?
And live events.
Surprise.
What am I, chopped liver?
With serious punch.
Big shot.
Go to merittv.com and download the Merit TV app today.